If you've been watching AI tools lately, you've probably asked yourself a very fair question. If Notebook LM, Gamma, and Copilot can all create presentation content and visuals, do I still need to learn how to build a presentation? My answer is yes, absolutely. But the nature of the skill is changing, because the real value today is not just knowing how to click buttons in PowerPoint or any of these applications. It's knowing how to think, how to guide the AI, how to provide context, and how to shape a message for your audience. So in this video, I want to explore 5 questions. Is presentation creation still a valuable skill? What are the best ways to use AI in the process? Which of these 3 tools is best for presenters? Do PowerPoint skills still matter? And what's the next frontier, where AI starts to support not just slide building, but also delivery skills, what I call platform skills? Let's get into it. First question, is learning to create a presentation still valuable? The answer is yes. But before we go further, I want to name something important. Being good at presentations is really 2 skill sets. One is presentation development, research, structure, your slide design, and your message clarity. The other is delivery, how you show up in the room, how you speak, how you use your voice and body, and how you handle Q&A. I call those platform skills. This video is mostly about development, but keep platform skills in mind because great slides can't rescue weak delivery. So, presentation development skills, still important. Here's why. AI can generate slides. It can summarize documents. It can create visuals. It can even help with structure. But it doesn't know your audience the way you do. It doesn't understand the political nuances of your organization. It doesn't know what your client is worried about, what your leadership team already believes, or what message will actually move people to action. That context still has to come from the presenter. So I would say the skill of presentation creation is still very valuable, but it's shifted. It's less about building every slide from scratch and more about judgment, more about framing and shaping the message, more about deciding what matters. AI can generate content. It can't fully own your message. Second question, what are the best ways to use AI to help develop a presentation? I think AI is incredibly helpful in 5 areas. First, research compression. If you have articles and notes and reports, internal documents, AI can help you process a lot of material quickly, and that's great. Second, outline generation. AI is very good at giving you possible structures. Not always the perfect structure, but useful options. Third, first draft visuals. If you need a starting point, AI can get you there much faster than starting at a blank slide, especially if you're not a graphic designer. Fourth, headline and language refinement. AI can help make titles clearer, simplify text, and suggest ways to say things more directly. And fifth, iteration. What I mean is AI makes it easier to create multiple versions for different audiences, change things around. But here's the warning. Don't outsource your final thinking. Use AI for speed and options. Use your own judgment for relevance and impact. Now for the throwdown. Notebook LM versus Gamma versus Copilot. Which should you use? And I think the smartest way to answer this is not to ask which one is best overall. It's to ask which one is best for which job. In real business communication situations, whether that's a quarterly business review, a leadership update, a client presentation, or a scientific talk, you're the subject matter expert. You've already got the knowledge. You've got the context, the goals, and the constraints that matter. You're not starting from zero, and you're certainly not asking AI to invent your expertise. So let me be clear about what this throwdown is and what it's not. This is not a recommendation to type a generic prompt into an AI tool on a topic you barely understand and then present whatever comes out. I would never recommend that. That is not a serious presentation workflow, especially in high-stakes business situations. What this video is a controlled comparison. I'm giving Notebook LM, Gamma, and Copilot the same generic prompt so we can compare the kind of output they produce, especially in terms of visuals, structure, and explanatory depth. Why generic? Because this test is not about replacing expertise. It's about showing how these tools behave when given the same broad assignment, and what that can teach us about their strengths, limitations, and value to presenters. Okay, let's go. Here's the prompt. Create a short presentation for new employees explaining the clinical trial process from early concept through regulatory approval. Each tool had to include the major phases, a visual workflow, and a clear, beginner-friendly design. Let's start with Notebook LM. Notebook LM is best when you're trying to make sense of information. If you've got a pile of notes and source documents, your research, content from meetings, Notebook LM can help you understand what you have and what the presentation could include. In my test, the Notebook LM output felt the most professional and in-depth. For example, right from the beginning, it surfaces how challenging it is to move one compound to an approved therapy, something like 1 in 10,000. That's strong context setting. So for me, Notebook LM is strongest in the thinking phase. It helps you think before you design. Now Gamma. Gamma, in my view, is best for speed to visual. It can help you move from idea to a polished-looking presentation very quickly. So if what you want is a fast, modern, attractive first draft, Gamma is impressive. It's easy to use and offers a variety of visual tools to edit and refine the deck. So Gamma may be the strongest of the three if your main goal is quick visual generation and design momentum. Now Copilot. Copilot is probably the most practical tool for people whose final presentation destination is PowerPoint. And that matters because in most businesses, the final deck still has to be edited, shared, revised, and delivered in PowerPoint. So if you're already in the Microsoft ecosystem and you know the deck is going to end up in PowerPoint anyway, Copilot may be the most practical choice. In my test, I wasn't as impressed with the design or depth. But in real work, you'll be bringing your own subject matter expertise and context anyway. An important note is both Notebook LM and Gamma support exporting PowerPoint files, but each has some drawbacks. So here's my simple verdict. Notebook LM is best for source-based thinking and structure. Gamma is best for rapid visual creation, and Copilot is best if you need the result to live and evolve in PowerPoint. That leads to the next question. Do PowerPoint skills matter if AI creates the presentation? Yes, I think they do, because no matter how good the AI draft is, somebody still has to refine the layout, improve the hierarchy, simplify the visuals, tailor the deck for the audience, make sure that it works within your brand and that it can be delivered live in a corporate training room. And that still requires presentation skills. And often, it still requires PowerPoint skill. So I would argue that AI reduces some of the manual work in building the presentation, but it actually increases the value of your editorial skill. The person who can look at an AI-generated deck and know what to fix still has a major advantage. And finally, what's the next frontier? I don't think it's just better slide generation. I think it's using technology to improve platform skills, delivery, presence, voice, pacing, and how you handle a live audience. This is where tools like Ovation VR become really interesting, because now we're moving beyond content into rehearsal, practice, and feedback. That's what gets exciting to me. Not just can technology help me build slides faster, but can it help me practice and deliver with more confidence and control? Because the real test of a presentation is not whether the slides look good on a laptop. It's whether the presenter can stand up, communicate clearly, and move an audience. So here's my conclusion. AI has not made presentation skill obsolete. It's made low-level production easier and high-level judgment more important. The best presenters won't compete with AI. They'll use AI to become faster, sharper, and more audience-centered. And they'll keep building the platform skills that make the message land. And if you're using tools like NotebookLM, Gamma, or Copilot, the question is not which one replaces you. The question is, which one helps you do a better job? If you're interested in learning more, download my free executive briefing, The AI Era Presentation Advantage.